Moneymakers, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to talk about HCMC. We have seen some really interesting pattern, and I want to talk about what has happened today in HCMC. The stock price is up 16.67%, and we are at 0.0018. We saw some organic price action. We did not really see the volume spike. We did not really see anything abnormal, but we saw the trend where there is a little bit of a bullish momentum compared to what we saw yesterday. Now, one thing you want to note is Dow Jones was down 2%, Nasdaq was down 2.67%, S&P was down negative 2.14%, but still HCMC was able to make its way up. So I want to talk about what could be some of the reasons, because yesterday, if you remember, we talked about market was down, results expectations was kind of a little bit of a sentimental. The third thing was right offering key dates were nearby, and the short volume. So there were four factors yesterday. Today I want to cover what could potentially be the reason as to why HCMC is trending bullish and why it may continue going upwards. So watch the full video. I saw some very interesting stuff around the short volume, and I want to share the numbers with you as well. Now, if you haven't clicked the like button, I would ask you to click the like button so we can share this HCMC update with a lot more people. We can also share this update with HCMC Army, so your like is very much appreciated. This video can reach to more and more people. Subscribe to my channel for some time-sensitive updates. If you haven't checked my bonfire video, I would recommend you check that out as well, because there is a potential getting 10x or 100x return. I'm not a financial advisor, but I do a lot of research and I share the information with you instead of just keeping it to myself. Looking at HCMC today, take a look. The way it was trading is start from the beginning. In the trading session, it went to 16 level, and from 16 level it went up all the way to 0.0018 level, and it sustained almost throughout the entire trading session. Now we are up 16.67%. Looking at why this might have happened, one thing I want you to also note is we were closed at 0.0015. Now, if we went below 15 level, we might be potentially in the negative or the declining territory, which did not happen. There were some concerns around it may go back to 0.0010 level. It did not happen either. If you take a look at the volume is 3.71 billion. So we are above the average volume, but it's not a massive volume that you can think of. The average volume is 3.42 billion, and we are at 3.71 billion. So it does seem like pretty organic growth in terms of the price. And I'm not talking about a massive growth, 100% or 150%, but the important thing to note is the whole market was down. There were many stocks, most of the stocks were down today, and HCMC was its way up throughout the trading session. Now, one thing that you also want to note is we had a pretty good revenue, 3.5 million, which is definitely down 15% from Q1 2020, but it is up $250,000 from Q4 2020. So it's a great sign that the company is focusing a lot more on revenue, that EBITDA improvement is 9% year over year. So all this good stuff. Now, why the spike? One of the reason is its key date, it's coming up. So HCMC announced earlier that they have a key date coming up in regards to the rights offering. So Friday, May 14th is the key date as to when it will be considered as a record date, because if investors buy HCMC stock and own HCMC stock, it will be T+2. So trade plus 2 settlement day timing. So they are advised based on this HCMC's announcement to get the recording date to make for the recording date of May 18th, people are expected to buy on 14th of May. But we did not really see the volume spike just right here, even though we were able to gain the price momentum. One of the other reasons that you can think about is there is a verdict from the judge, or the ruling from the judge on the motion to dismiss is around the corner. We do not really know when it's going to be announced, but it does seem like that community in general is expecting the dismissal of the motion to dismiss. So it will be rejected by the judge, and I'm not a lawyer. It is based on the articles that I read. It is based on the general sentiment from the community, as well as some of the advice from the people who know the matter the most. Now, one of the thing is, if it gets rejected, that means the lawsuit will be on the floor, and HCMC can have a lot more room to negotiate with Philip Morris on the patent infringement lawsuit that they have. Now, one of the other thing that you also want to notice is the short volume. Interestingly enough, today's short volume was 1.7 billion. So it's a massive short volume. Yesterday's short volume was 1.5 billion. Now, if you take a look at 1.7 billion versus the overall volume, it is about the half of the volume that considered as a short volume in terms of the number of shares that were transacted. So 1.7 short volume versus the overall volume of 3.71 billion. So even though there is a larger short volume, we were able to gain the price 17%, even though the markets were down. One of the other reason is there might be steady buying that might be happening because of this rights offering, because one of the benefit of having this right offering is 25% discounted price if you get the rights. You get the stocks from the rights offering that the company has. What company is trying to do is they're trying to raise $100 million from this right offering. So in a way, yes, it's a stock dilution, but it will be in the best interest of the company so they can expand, and in the long term, the stock will perform better. So it is not just overnight that it's going to spike up to 1 penny or 10 cents or 20 cents or $1. We don't know, unless there is once again a community behind it and people start pumping. But if you believe for the long term in HCMC, that can go once again back to 0.0065. Now, before we look further into the price action, I wanted to show you that we were able to go to 18 level and we closed there. The most important thing is now we made a higher low today. We saw that it was 14 level just yesterday from 16 level, and the high was 0.0020, and we saw 0.0016, and there were some concerns that it was going downwards. On May 11th, we saw once again a lower low, 14. What we have seen now is a higher low, which is the 15 level, and we are closed at higher high, which is 18. So if you take a look from 17, we went to 18. Before that, we were in the declining mode from 35 to 25 to 23 to 22, 21, 20. And now we are going to 17, and now we're going up to 18. Now we want to see this further tomorrow and day after how that plays out. But don't forget that we have a key date coming up, and we may see some action based on that. On the top of that, we have been consistently seeing that the short volume is going up. From May 7th, 984 million went up to 1.4 billion, went up to 1.5. Today it was 1.7, almost 1.8 billion. So a good amount of short volume is still there, even though we saw the organic price growth. Let's take a look into how the stock looks in general. So once again, I want to say, see this pattern the way you see. So it made another low right here, and it made another low, which is a higher low. We went up, we came down to 14, but once again it's a higher low. Going here, we went to all the way 0.0035 that we don't see here, which was on the HCMC day. We went back down all the way to 0.0015, and now we started going up. Now, one thing that you also want to notice is the stock has a pretty good resistance, or the support level, I want to say, at 0.0014. So if you take a look right here, we went to 0.0014 and we started going up. But you want to also keep in mind that the 20 level, 0.002 level, is a very good resistance right here for HCMC. So in order to get into the bullish momentum, we need to cross 0.0020 level. Now, looking at the RSI, which is 50, that does suggest not an overbought, not an oversold condition, which is going to help the stock ramp up tomorrow. hopefully. Now, if there is a huge short volume, it may decline, but we want to see it climbing up above the 0.002 level tomorrow, and then we can see that it got the traction in terms of the price point. Couple of reasons. One is the judge's ruling once again is around the corner, which is one of the big catalyst in the short term. The second catalyst is the right date, which is the key date for the rights offering that gives 25% discount to the existing stockholders. We will be able to see some of the action on Thursday and Friday because of the T+2 settlement period, and the record date is May 18th. Looking at the MACD, the red is the MACD line, looks pretty good in my opinion, and it may help the price to go in the higher direction. Now, if we see a larger volume, could definitely help the price for HCMC to go in the upwards direction. Even though we did not really have a spike in the volume, we were able to accomplish higher price today, and we may continue to do that if we have enough good volume tomorrow. Looking at the 1 day, how it is trading for 1 day, let's take a look. It spiked up and it traded pretty much in the trading or the barcoding pattern, and it was organic, by the way, and we saw 52 RSI around the closing of the trading session, which is once again very healthy RSI. Looking at MACD is also pretty healthy in my opinion, which may help this stock price to go in the higher direction, hopefully in the 20 area. We will see a good amount of resistance around 20 area, but if it is able to cross and close about 20 area tomorrow, Friday might be even bullish. I will make sure I'll keep you posted, but you want to take a look at once again, there is a higher short volume. So I wanted to share this information because I thought it's pretty interesting and pretty good to know that when the whole market was down, HCMC was holding pretty strong. We did not see massive volume, still it was holding pretty strong. And once again, judge's ruling, short volume you want to keep in mind. The motion to dismiss you want to also keep in mind. The overall volume on the trading day you also want to keep in mind. There is a resistance 0.0020 that you also want to keep in mind. I hope you like this video. Click on the like button, subscribe to my channel for time sensitive updates, and I will see you once again tomorrow with more HCMC updates. Thanks for watching.